So you're a master of your trade, right? A mechanic, a contractor, someone who really, truly lives and breathes the work. Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down how to take that incredible skill set of yours and forge it into a powerful, profitable business. Let's get right into it.
Look, you know every nut, every bolt, every single process. You know the problems, and you definitely know the solutions. That expertise, that's your rock-solid foundation. But making that leap from being the best person on the job to owning the whole company, that's a totally different ballgame, and it's exactly what we're going to map out for you today.
All right, so where do we even begin? Well, it all starts with that passion, the very thing that got you into this work in the first place. But here's the thing. Passion alone doesn't pay the bills. It needs direction. It needs a little bit of structure. It needs a plan. This is the heart of it, isn't it? That feeling you get when you turn a mess into something perfect. Fix what's broken. That authentic, in-the-trenches spirit is your biggest asset, your superpower. It's not just what you do, it's who you are. And that's the real core of the business you're about to build.
Okay, so now let's take all that hands-on energy and channel it into something that, looks a little bit like paperwork. We're moving from the why you do it to the how you're going to make it a success. It's time to draft the blueprint for your business, just like you would for any big project on the job.
Now, that term business plan can sound super intimidating, but don't let it throw you. Just think of it as your roadmap. It's you on paper, figuring out where you're going and what the best route is to get there. This is where you prove, first to yourself and then to everybody else, that your skills can actually translate into a real money-making business. And here are the main stops on that map. Pretty simple, right? Who are you? Who are your customers? What are you actually selling them? How are you going to reach them? And of course, what do the numbers look like? When you break it down like this, it's way more manageable. You live this stuff every day, you already know the answers. We just got to get them down on paper.
And this is why it matters. This visual just makes it crystal clear. A business plan isn't just a bunch of words. It's about turning your hard work, every single job you complete, into predictable cash flow. This is how you show a bank, or even just yourself, that your skill directly leads to a healthy bottom line.
All right, you've got your blueprint in hand. Now it's time to make this thing official. And that means, we're got to step into the world of regulations, permits, and licenses. I know, it might not be the most exciting part, but it is absolutely critical if you want to build a business that lasts and, stay out of trouble.
And this image pretty much says it all. As a business owner, you're going to have to live in two worlds at once, the hands-on work you love and the official world of compliance and paperwork. The goal is to get the paperwork side so dialed in that you can get back to doing what you're actually passionate about.
Let's make this real. For example, if you're opening an auto repair shop in California, here's your checklist. You need that special BAR license. You got to register your business structure, like an LLC, get a seller's permit for tax, register it with the state if you have employees, and get your local city or county license. See? It's just a series of steps, not some impossible mountain to climb.
And hey, on top of the local stuff, you've got some federal rules too. You're definitely going to need an employer ID number, or EIN, from the IRS. Think of it like a social security number for your business. If you have a team, workers' comp insurance is not optional. It's a must. And if you're running big trucks, you've got to keep detailed records. It's all just about being organized and diligent.
Okay, so you've got the plan and you're all legal. Now for the really fun part. The strategies that separate the businesses that just kind of get by from the ones that truly crush it. This is where we level up your thinking from technician to CEO.
I love this quote from the Blue Collar Business podcast. It just totally shifts your mindset. Profit isn't some happy accident that happens because you work hard. No, it's the result of disciplined choices, of knowing your numbers inside and out, and building systems that protect your margins on every single job.
So, how do you actually do that? How do you enforce that discipline? Well, here's one of the most powerful tools out there, the Work in Progress, or WIP report. Think of this thing as your financial flashlight. It shines a light on the real costs of every job in real time. It helps you spot a project that's about to go off the rails long before it empties your bank account.
And that discipline, it carries over to your marketing too. The old way was to throw a bunch of money at some generic ad and just hope the phone would ring. The new way, it's way simpler and honestly a lot more powerful. It's just sharing your work every day, telling the story of a project, showing the real human side of the problems you solve. It's authentic, it's consistent, and it builds trust in a way a glossy ad never could.
And that brings us to our last big idea. And, this might just be the most important one. Beyond the plans and the permits and even the profits, the ultimate key to building a true titan of a business is taking complete control of its story.
This is basically the #1 rule for any modern business owner. Think about it. If you don't tell your story, if you don't define your own value, someone else is going to do it for you. It might be a competitor, a skeptical customer, or even just a bad online review. You have to be the one in the driver's seat of your own reputation.
And hey, this doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. Seriously, your phone is all you need. Every picture you take from a job site, every quick video explaining what you're doing, that's another brick in the foundation of your brand. You're not just selling a service, you're proving your competence and building trust, one simple post at a time.
So let's just recap that journey real quick. You start with a pure passion for the work, and you forge that into a solid plan. You take that plan and turn it into a real licensed business. Then you build that business into a trusted brand. And in doing all that, you complete the transformation from a skilled technician into a true owner.
So, that's the path. The steps are all right here. You already have the hardest part down, the skill, the passion, the work ethic. And now you have the blueprint. So the only real question left is, what story are you going to build?